Hey guys, Sarth here, and today I'm going to talk about the most controversial patch so far for World of Warcraft Classic. Phase 2. The dawn of the honor system, the release of world bosses, and on most servers, the death of the Alliance. With declining subscription rates, dwindling server populations, and what may have felt like a rushed, but definitely necessary announce of the release of Battlegrounds, it begs the question, was Phase 2 a failure? And to answer this, we kind of have to think of what constitutes a failure. As a player, that just really means one thing. Was Phase 2 fun? World PvP so far has basically been massive swarms running down anything that crosses their path. You land in a zone, run over the entire enemy faction, camp their bodies, camp the Flight Master, basically until they can get a mage to get off a port and they can all leave. And then it's pretty much just a game of cat and mouse. Your raid follows all of the Alliance raids around the world. They land in a zone before you, kill all of the lonely stragglers, you land in the zone, kill all of them. It really hasn't been a fair fight. There's no balance to this world PvP system because the Horde outnumber the Alliance. On some servers like Herod and Flamelash, it's getting to be like 70% Horde and 30% Alliance. The Alliance are getting wrecked so badly that they just started quitting the game, and it's making the population skew even more massive. I mean, you can log into Ironforge on those servers and you'll probably die instantly if you're flagged for PvP. That's how bad it is. People like Asmongold are talking about it on their stream about quitting because they're playing Alliance and they're on a server that's completely Horde run. And I know on the other side of things, there are servers that are actually mostly skewed towards the Alliance, where Orgrimmar is being camped constantly, but it seems overwhelmingly Horde has the advantage here. The only place that seemed like a real fair fight has been the good old Battle of Hillsbrad. Out there in Southshore, both sides are playing a giant game of tug of war, where the Horde push the Alliance all the way to the city, and then they back off because they don't want to get dishonorable kills. Each time one of the factions pushes, there's a lot of stragglers that kind of get caught out, and there's a lot of honor to be gained. If you're in a huge raid group, it's kind of in small numbers because you just wait for people to tag them, but don't get me wrong, it is a good way to farm honor if that's your thing. As a rogue, or melee class really, this form of world PvP only means either certain death, or like you're seeing on the screen now, you just kind of stay mounted or hang out stealthed while your group gets the tags. Because if you try to go in, you're gonna die instantly, you're gonna have to fap and sprint out, or there's just not really any hope. And that's not a complaint really to say that it's hard to farm honor as a rogue, it's just not that fun. There are other ways you can do it. You can sit in an enemy faction's spawn location or population hub, and just kind of kill someone every time your vanish is up. I know there's a lot of people, rogues actually on my server, that kind of sit in Kargath, wait for someone to go AFK and sit down, come out, ambush and backstab them to death, and then just die. And wait till their res timer's back up, do it all over again. It's really good honor per hour, but then again, is it fun? I think by far the most fun part of Phase 2 is running around as a raid group and fighting another raid group that's actually larger than yours and wiping them. If you all go in there with saber charge and coordination, you're gonna wreck any other raid group, no matter their size, unless they're paying attention and doing pretty much the same thing as you. That's been a blast, because there's strategy and you can actually outplay the other team. But if what you really want to do is just kind of go out in the world and fight 1v2s, 1v3s, or 4s, it's a lot harder because the second you kill the first guy, their entire raid group has come back and gotten to you. So to circle back on everything from this little rant, was Phase 2 fun? I think that's subjective, of course. I personally expected this to be the exact thing to happen during Phase 2, and I kind of didn't want it. Some people are having a fucking blast. You can get in a smaller group and go to Theramore or find other smaller groups around the world. Inevitably, you'll run into a much larger group that'll wipe you, but it's fun in the meantime, and then you can just leave the zone, of course. Phase 2 was definitely either a love or hate thing. A lot of people hated it. I would say a good majority hated it a lot more than the amount of people that loved it. I had my fun, And I honestly spent the entire launch day running around PvPing all over the world in groups, sometimes solo, and racked up over 15,000 honorable kills. After that, I had my fix, and that's why all the clips in the background are actually from launch day. I haven't really felt inspired to go after it since then. Without a doubt, Phase 2 will go down in infamy. I'm glad it was short, and I'm definitely ready to spend a lot of time in Battlegrounds. Let me know what you thought of Phase 2 in the comments. Maybe you loved it, maybe you hated it. Hopefully a lot of people come back for Battlegrounds. I'll be streaming them every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, so check that out if you get the chance. Thanks for tuning into the video. It was kind of a lot more of a rant than I expected my first video to be, but now I'll actually be able to work on a real PvP video. Once again, this is Sarth. Peace out.